What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with more draft coverage. We're gonna talk about Corey just because he's one of the lottery picks that a lot of people love, especially for the New Orleans Pelicans. They need shooting, they need spacing for Ingram and Zion and whoever else they want to put inside that nucleus of what they're trying to build there and become back to the playoff level that they was at with AD. And Corey will be a great piece for a lot of teams just because you know what he is and you know what he brings to the table. Legitimate 6'5", 6'6", and that's the size you need to play as shooting guard, not undersized. Has some good body mass to him too. Shooters are a premium in the league. People love shooters. Shooters get paid. Shooters are a necessary component to championships, and those guys usually last in the NBA. Honestly, they usually don't have the greatest careers or become the superstars or stuff like that, especially when that's their entire game. They're not really known for anything else. But those guys have been essential to winning championships. They have been important in big games, and they also are important to how the offense flows and how you react to playing guys because he has the ability to come off screens. He know how to get open, and that means that's a guy you always got to pay attention to, which means it leaves guys open and leaves guys being able to get easier shots because you're sucked in or stuck on keeping an eye out on a guy because you know if you leave him open, he's going to torch you and make you pay. So you got to stay close to him. You got to pay attention to him. And if he's always running and moving and cutting, he's dangerous. And Corey has all those abilities already. And that means he has an NBA skill set, an NBA ready plug and play guy. And those guys deserve to go into the lottery, and those guys deserve to be paid. And I think that he definitely has shown enough to most of us to see that this guy can be an important guy on a lot of teams. And we've seen a lot of guys that are known mostly for their shooting have long careers, as is always amazing to have it. So to have a guy that has shot over 40% from three, significantly over 40, those guys are must have in the NBA level. You know, the range is a little different between college and NBA, but not to the point where I'll be concerned about Corey. I'd probably be more concerned about his defense than his ability to score. And I do feel like he's one of the very few players that can come in and I can trust to play 15, 25 minutes on even a good team and be productive. He has that good a feel, that good of flow, that good of touch, that I feel like if I'm getting this guy, he can be a part of what I'm doing now. And you can't really say that for a lot of these guys offensively that's in the 7 to 15 range. A lot of them have potential. A lot of them has flashes. A lot of them guys have 2 to 3 years to become quality role players or rotation players. Corey is one of the very few in that range that you know what he is, you know what he brings to the table, and he can help you now because he just that good at it. He has mastered elite skill in the NBA, and he came at the right time because this is the time in the era where everybody wants a shooter. Everybody covets shooters, and especially if you can let that thing fly from over 30 feet, just because that gives even more space for guys to operate, and it gives you a little bit more room to get the shot off, especially if you can knock it down at an efficient clip. So Corey, to me, is more of a sure thing. To me, he definitely will be a coveted player in this draft, and whoever gets to him will be happy, and he might be there for a long time just because he's not going to be overpaid, he's not going to be underrated, he's just going to be the guy you need, especially if you're building a team with a guy that needs the ball and needs the space to be able to go isolation or create for others, and having a guy that can always be ready, having a guy that can knock down shots just builds confidence from star players, and it builds confidence for guys around him just because they know what he's capable of. And on top of that, he's a team player, so he's going to make the right play. If he doesn't have a shot, he's not going to force it. He's not going to try to overdo anything. He's just going to pass the ball and find a way to get back open, or move around so guys can do their thing. And when it's time for him to go, he'll be open, or he'll be able to create some way to get open. And then it's just about him getting to his spot and knocking down the shot, which he has shown, so far from the level he just played at, that he can do at a deadly level. So Corey got a pass for me. Pick him up, get him, and you will love what you get, and you can have him around as long as you want, as long as he's interested, and he will always have a place in the NBA, because this is the modern NBA, and shooting, especially at 6'5", 6'6", teams love, especially when you can do a little bit more than that too. Teams love you even more. So Corey, you're doing your thing. You got my respect. I like what you're about. I like what you did to get to this point. Keep working hard. Keep growing your game. Keep expanding your knowledge, and you'll be fine in the NBA. I'm gone.